It looks like your typical Airbnb listing, advertising a microloft in the heart of downtown Victoria. But look further, and the listing specifies that prospective renters must stay at least 90 days, quote, thanks to our BC NDP government. The ad also encourages people to vote for the BC Conservatives in the fall provincial election. It's a blatant jab at the NDP government's crackdown on short-term rentals, which bans most Airbnbs that are not in the owner's primary residence. Anyone with a short-term rental that's not in their main home has to rent the unit for a minimum of 90 days. The Property Rights Association of BC, a short-term rental lobby group, held online town halls with BC Conservative leader John Rustad and BC United leader Kevin Falcon. Rustad promises that if he becomes premier, he would scrap provincial short-term rental rules and leave them up to local governments.
They're the ones that do the business licenses, they're the ones that do the zoning. And I think, quite frankly, what the provincial government done has been an overstep. It has significantly damaged tourism in many areas. Try to get a hotel now in places like even Vancouver, and the rates have gone through the roof.
Paul Kershaw, the founder of Generation Squeeze, says the BC Conservatives' hands-off approach would do nothing to address sky-high house prices and record-low vacancy rates.
They're being seduced by the idea that we're going to get some people voting for us because they're wanting to, continue to use housing as a business strategy, to commodify it as an investment strategy. That is just out of touch with the scale of the problem facing us.
BC United MLA Todd Stone says his party would keep some restrictions on short-term rentals, but allow people to have 1 or 2 rentals outside of their primary residence. He says the NDP's Airbnb rules have done nothing to address the housing shortage.
People were forced to take their short-term rentals, off the market, and those short-term rentals are not all suddenly turning into long-term rentals, as the NDP, said they magically would.
Housing Minister Ravi Kahlon says he's not worried about anti-NDP messaging on some Airbnb listings.
Not a surprise, given that both Airbnb and some of these investors are well-funded, pretty powerful group, and they're going to try to leverage that to maximize their profits.
Kahlon says the province won't back down on short-term rental rules, even as it faces a lawsuit by a group of short-term rental owners. He insists the rules have moved hundreds of Airbnbs back onto the long-term market. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.